I really wanted a guest star in this video, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case, so, that kinda sucks. But anyway, this was a video I've been meaning to make for some time, ranking all 4 RWBY Death battles. So just like my every Transformers Death Battle ranked video, there's only 4 episodes for me to cover. However, 2 of them I've already reviewed, and I may not have a lot to talk about for the ones I already mentioned. If I don't have anything new to mention, then please understand, I already talked about this multiple times. We'll get there, but for now though, 2 episodes I've never actually talked about before, so this should be interesting. I don't have a lot more to mention, it's just a standard death battle ranking that isn't really a season, so you all should probably get the formula by now. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into last place, even though I still think it's very good. This is not going to start out so well, isn't it?
Luckily, her aura is durable enough to take a punch that shattered a concrete pillar about 4 feet wide.
So, apparently everybody hates Yang versus Tifa. Can I be honest with you and give this episode respect right out of the gate? This one episode made me acknowledge that RWBY does exist. Thank you, Yang. I'm being serious when I say that, by the way. So is the episode as bad as people say to me? Honestly, not at all. Because for my Death Battle season ranking, you know how I like to have a different opinion that some people may not expect? Honestly, I love this episode. Now, before I talk about the actual episode, someone is probably going to be like, how long have you been into this episode? Like, when did you first see this? No kidding, ever since I saw the teaser trailer for it. This came out on October 21st, 2015. It's been a little over 10 years, and yeah, I'm not kidding. I still love this episode. I haven't seen this that much, though, but every once in a while, I like to check this one out. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, what's the episode actually like? Well, for Season 2, this is actually an impressive CG episode. Yang and Tifa's sprites here look good. The objects that actually get destroyed and used are pretty well done here. I would call the first half with the bar scene actually good, but however, when they actually move to the bigger, I'm gonna assume, ballroom, if you want to say that, that's when things get better, because I Burn plays at a good time. And this is where we start getting some of the more memorable parts of the episode, in my opinion. By the way, I forgot to mention that the abilities that Yang and Tifa use actually are great, like from Tifa using the ice, to Yang powering up and it looking great, Tifa using the slot machine, dolphin blow, and final heaven, they all look awesome. As for the death, I think it does look cool, but yes, I know that the gauntlets are just canceling each other out, they're gonna fire while snapping Tifa's neck. But if I'm gonna be honest here, that's not even really a big enough negative to where I would be upset about it, or at the very least, disappointed. I still do think it looks cool. Now, I'm sure some of you may be wondering, wait a minute, if I love this episode, why is it in last place? To be honest, this and number 3 could get switched around and it wouldn't really bother me so much, so I don't really know why it's in last place, other than I guess it's just kind of forgotten, but I did mention I do like to check this one out every once in a while, so yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. But honestly, to conclude this segment, I think this episode gets too much hate. This is definitely at least a good episode. I don't know why people don't like it so much outside of the death and maybe the analysis if I pay more attention, but yeah, I'm not really sure about that.
Nem's debate is twice as long. He must have 4 times the hearing.
If I'm gonna be honest about Blake versus Mikasa, I don't get the hate behind this one. Well, outside the analysis, because I don't usually cover the analysis. But anyway, I know this episode has an inconsistent frame rate. Mikasa doing a funny run and funny scream we probably will ever get for this season. Well, Season 8 is where this is from. And the whole 4 times the hearing line. Those can generally be negative qualities. But if I'm going to be honest, like Ben 10 versus Green Lantern, I'm going to enjoy this episode for its overall presentation, rather than who actually wins or not, although this one at least does make sense compared to Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. The back and forth action actually does fit, and it looks really cool. Mikasa's spinning was pretty fun. And yeah, it is a little confusing why Blake's official voice actress isn't here. Like, is there a reason for it? There probably is. I'm not going to dive into that for this. For the environment of this fight, it actually does look pretty cool. Definitely fits the Attack on Titan theme, and we'll get to Thundershroud later. I'm just going to list off some random things, because I'm not going to dive into this fully. When Mikasa does change her swords, no kidding, it's actually really cool to just see that by itself. Then when she gets the Thunder Spear, that's when the fight gets a bit better, where I can feel the impact of them exploding. Then the part where Mikasa cuts off Blake's arm, and Thundershroud playing at the right time. That feels pretty awesome, not gonna lie. And then we'll get to the death, because not sure what else to mention. When Blake gets Mikasa to fire a Thunder Spear, I love how she Uno reverse cards it back to Mikasa, and then we get it to blow up. No kidding, that's kind of badass in my opinion. Okay, I think I'm starting to get why I place this above Yang versus Tifa. I don't know, though. Then after that, Blake takes some of the damage from the explosion. But then when we see the shadow of a Titan, I love how she gets her sword back up and then immediately runs to it. Like, that's kind of cool that she wants to try and stop it. And that's pretty much it for the episode. As for Thundershroud, God, I love this song so much. If nothing else, this is definitely the best part of the episode, having this awesome song play at a good time. So yeah, I don't really have a lot to mention. Like I said with Yang versus Tifa, these two could get switched around in any order and it wouldn't bother me at all. Although if I had to say something for this ranking, maybe this episode would rank very slightly higher, or okay, a little bit higher than Yang versus Tifa, but for the most part, I love these episodes almost equally, so yeah, I don't have a lot more to mention. So now for the last two episodes, I've already talked about them, so I'm gonna probably keep these very short.
I like my soul, thanks. So that's what it's like.
The reason why 2 and 1 are being shared into one entry is that I literally have almost nothing new to talk about them. So in second place will be Weiss versus Mitsuru, and in first place will be Ruby Rose versus Maka. Do I really need to say anything about these two? I've already given them a detailed review in my Season 6 ranking and in my standalone Ruby versus Maka video, so I'll just link both in the description. Since this would be the second time I would talk about Weiss versus Mitsuru, I don't really have a lot more to mention that I haven't discussed in this episode already. I've talked about pretty much everything I had to discuss in that video. From the beginning to the end of the fight, to talking about Winter Sonata. So yeah, I really don't know what else to mention that I haven't talked about already. And since this is now the third time I talked about Ruby vs. Maka, I almost have nothing new to talk about. The Adagio edition of Death in Bloom is still pretty awesome. And I guess the episode hasn't been that forgotten lately, so that's, I guess, the only shred of new thing you're gonna get for this review, because otherwise, I really don't know what else to say that I haven't mentioned already. I know I could just re-review myself, but nah, no thanks. So yeah, this segment ended up being shorter than expected. So again, second place would be Weiss vs. Mitsuru, and first place would be Ruby vs. Maka. Alright, that's it. The video's finished. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna get to work on the RWBY Death Battle last place spot ranking soon, so keep an eye out for that. The list for it is already finished, so that should be interesting. It's like B-Shape Fearless Productions ranking everything in last place, although, you know, based off of his actual every last place entry, but for here, from what I'm doing, it's just one YouTuber with every last place Death Battle episode. So that video may take a while, so again, just keep an eye out for that. But for now, though, that'll be about it. I'm Colin Astro Healer. I'll see y'all later with whatever we do next time, and that'll be all for now.